Continuing with Sicha Chav Gimel, Sicha number 23. So Anu Amar HaRachmana Shaha'olam Hazeh Kol Roin. So Rebbe Nachman said that the pity in this world everybody sees. We see pity, we see mercy someone has for someone. Bishvil Zeh HaKol Rodfin Acher Olam Hazeh. Because of this, because there's pity in this world, because there's mercy, everyone runs after things in this world. What are we talking about? Ki roin kisha'adim rav v'tzama v'kiyotzi kashel me'od. We see sometimes that if somebody is hungry or thirsty or is having a very hard time, yesh rachmanas gadol alav, there's a lot of pity on him. Hashem has pity, or people have pity, but there's pity on people. V'chein mi sheholich arum v'yachov yesh rachmanas gadol alav. Also, if somebody has no clothes or barefoot, there's pity for him, right? People have pity. People have rachmanis on people in this world. Aval mi sheyesh lo einayim, v'roim gadol rachmanis sheyesh al neshama she'olam haba. But someone that has eyes and can see the great pity that there is on the souls in the world to come. Ki sham b'olam haba nimtzam b'nei adam shehochem arumim mamish. There, in olam haba, you find people that are spiritually naked completely. V'iyevshar l'rachem aleim klal, but you can't have any pity on them. There's no pity in olam haba for the souls that are naked. What does this mean? Ki b'olam hazeh, because in this world, keshadam aram below malbush azay afshar l'kabit and davos avoros v'asol kapton. That when someone doesn't have clothes in this world, we're able to gather money and to get them clothes. But in olam haba, but in the world to come, someone that walks naked who has nothing there, who has no possessions, it's impossible to have pity on him. It's impossible to take mercy on someone in olam haba. Because there, ein mol shum rachman is there, mercy, pity doesn't help. In olam haba, it's too late. Nothing will help. Because what type of clothing does he need there? He doesn't need clothes there, a shirt, a jacket, a dress. Only malbush Torah v'mitzvahs. A soul in olam haba needs the clothing of Torah and mitzvahs. That's the clothing that a soul needs in the world to come. But there, mercy, pity for this doesn't help. Okay, so even someone there, you can't give somebody anything. In olam haba, you can't give somebody else your mitzvahs. You can't do mitzvahs there. It's nothing. It's gone. Pity doesn't help. So he doesn't say here, but yeah, there is a concept of one's descendants that can help. We say Kaddish for people. If somebody writes a sefer, somebody said some divrei Torah, he affected people. So then, whatever effect you have in this world, it's like you're doing mitzvahs here after you pass. Right now we're learning Rebbe Nachman. So as we learn Rebbe Nachman's words, his soul is being elevated even more and more. But there in olam haba, anyone looking at somebody can't give anything. But someone who merits to be close to the tzaddik amiti, to the true tzaddik, who yachol l'rotz l'tzaddik v'lekech etzlo eze malbush v'lishtabish also. So there in olam haba, he'll be able to run to the tzaddik. Whatever tzaddik a person was connected to, they able to run to the tzaddik and get clothing. The tzaddik there has many malbush and many things the tzaddik is able to give. So I actually heard a story from Rav Eliyahu Meirav. I heard it. He told me. I met him here in Miami Beach with Allison a couple of years ago. He told us this story that he heard from Rav Arish, and it was one of Rav Arish's students that told him this story. That many people go to Uman. This year, Baruch Hashem, for Rosh Hashanah, we had over 60,000 people there. Most people they go to be close to Rav Nachman. They go to be close to the followers and to have a lebed davening. But some people go just for the party, just for the scene. So there was a group of guys that went I don't know how many years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago. And they went into the city downtown. They went into Ukraine somewhere. And they went to a club. And something happened, and this guy got stabbed. They took him to the hospital, and he was clinically dead. And somehow he came back. I don't know if actually the club was there, or it was in Israel, he went back to Israel, I'm not sure, but it's irrelevant. But the point is, he was clinically dead and he came back. And the people there asked, well, what happened? You were dead. And he's like, so he said a story that he died and he saw the light, went through the tunnel, etc. And then he was at a Beis Din. He was at a court. And they were asking him what mitzvahs he did. He had nothing. And going over all the Averis, Malachim, a whole thing, different things going on in his plate. And sorry to tell you, you got nothing. No mitzvahs, nothing. Completely secular Israeli Jew, nothing. Gehenna. You're done. And then all of a sudden, there was this great light. And he couldn't see, he didn't know what it was, but he knew it was Rebbe Nachman. Rebbe Nachman came to him in this vision, and he said, "Nah, he's mine. I'm taking him with me. I'm taking him back." And everyone in the Beis Din was like, "What are you talking about? He's not a Breslover. He doesn't have big payas. He doesn't wear a white kippah. He doesn't wear a kippah. He doesn't learn your teachings, nothing. What do you mean?" So he said, so when they were leaving Uman, and as they were passing by the Tzion, jokingly the guy said, "Shalom Rabbeinu, bye my rabbi, my teacher." So Rebbe Nachman said, "See, he called me Rabbeinu. I'm his rabbi. Called me Rabbeinu, so I'm taking him." And then he woke up and he came back to life. He took this as a sign. He made tshuva. He got connected with Rabbi Arush, and he became a Breslover Chassid. But anyway, it's just a story of how a tzaddik can help even in the world to come, being connected to the tzaddik. So like we said, it's not necessarily Rabbi Nachman. There are many tzaddikim, many people are close to different tzaddikim. They're all good, but it's good to be close to a tzaddik. Again, the next piece from this lesson, from Chaf Gimel, says, I also heard, this could be Rabbi Nosson talking, I also heard a holy conversation like this. So in the world to come, so they're learning Torah there, different levels of different things. There are different things going on over there. So sometimes people get left outside. He said in Olam Haba, there will be people left outside, and they're crying out, B'kol mar, in a bitter cry. Tenu lanu ma'alechu, give us something to eat. Uban etzam ma'omrim lahem, harei lechem achila, v'shtiya achla v'shasa. Here's food, here's water, eat, drink. Right? They want to help them. They bring them food. Here's a steak. Here's some wine. Eat, drink. But they answer, Lo. No. We don't need this food. We don't need steak. We don't need bread. We don't need wine. We don't need anything. We need eating and drinking of Torah and service of Hashem and mitzvahs. And also many people are left with nothing outside, and they're crying out very much. God forbid a yid without Torah and mitzvahs in Olam Haba, he will have a very rude awakening when they realize they have nothing. Nothing. Any mitzvah we do, we can't imagine how much schar in Olam Haba we're going to get. One single mitzvah, everything, right? And Baruch Hashem, we do so many mitzvahs every day, we're learning Torah. But there's going to be people, Rahman al-Tzlan, left on the outside. Some people we left naked outside with nothing because they didn't have Torah mitzvahs. But that's the food. The food for the neshama and clothing for the neshama in Olam Haba, it's Torah mitzvahs. But you can only get that in this world. In this world now, we're building clothing and food for our neshamas in Olam Haba for eternity. So anyway, they said, no, we need Torah and mitzvahs. Pay mashivim lo, but the answer, no, it can't give you that. Ein elu malbushim nitzrichim lanu klal. Rak an nitzrichim mitzvahs and maisim tovim lisabish behem. We need Torah and mitzvahs. That's what we need to clothe ourselves with. So I have a note here. It's brought from Sefer Likutim from the Arizal. So it says Hini mamtir lechem lechem min shemayim. The pasuk says it's going to rain down on you lechem, bread from shemayim. It's talking about the man, but it's a lechem min shemayim, from the heavens. It was spiritual. It actually says that a person got das just from eating the man. It's brought down. And the goyim tried to get this, or they even tried just to get the crumbs from the man. But a person got amazing, I think it was from Kesser even, so I don't remember. But there's very crazy spiritual things just in the man. Harbe lechem mehaTorah, but here he says, Bekan tochel, here they ate harbe lechem mehaTorah. They ate bread from Torah, she'asaktem be'olam hazeh yehi mazon and nefesh. The Arizal brings down that the bread they ate, it was spiritual, but anyway, the Torah that we learn in this world becomes mazon for the nefesh. That's what the Arizal says, because also we know we have 365 or 248 the Ivarim, the limbs, but the Shasa Giddim, the 265 sinews, that's connected the Targum mitzvahs, right? The 613 mitzvahs, the positive and negative commandments, etc., equals 613. So that's the malbush, that's the clothing. That's the clothing in Olam Haba, because it's our body. Right? It's our physical body. We have 365 Avarim, limbs, everything, and 200 and, was it 40? 65, 265.
365 and 248.
248, right. So 365 and 248 add 613, but that's our limbs and sinews. That's connected, that goes according to the 613 mitzvahs, which become clothing for our body, or for our neshama in Olam Haba. So not just our physical body, but our neshama also has spiritually these parts too. So that's the mazor for the nefesh. And the Arizal continues, Im lo asik adam b'Torah l'shma yomam v'layla. If a person wasn't involved in Torah l'shma day and night, if he didn't learn Torah for for its sake, for good intentions, then lo yesh lo mazon le'olam haneshamos. He won't have food for himself in the world of neshamas. Afilu sheyesh lo malbash mitzvahs. Even if he has mitzvahs. Even if a person did mitzvahs in this world, even if a person lit the Shabbos candles, even if a person shook the lulav, even if a person put on tzitzis, tefillin, davened, but if a person didn't learn Torah, then he doesn't have any food. He has the clothing, right? The mitzvahs are the clothing for his neshama. He's not naked, but there's no sustenance. There's no food for the neshama. And again, so also what about for us, for ladies? Someone asked before to make it so ladies can also get something from here. So ladies don't necessarily have I didn't write it here, but someone asked me last week. So ladies don't necessarily have the mitzvah of limud Torah, but the Gemara says, actually in Parshas Hakel, when everyone comes to gather, everyone's supposed to come to Yerushalayim and with the Melech and read the Torah, part of the Torah. So it says, why are the kids going? Why this? Why the there's the Gemara there says, maybe it's Tosfos there, but it says that how do the women get their schar? What is the woman's main schar, main olam haba from? From pushing her husband and her sons to learn Torah, from enabling her husband and her children to learn Torah. If the husband wants to go to a shiur and she wants to go out, take me out on the town, okay, it's important, yes, for marriage once in a while, but if every night she wants to go out or wants him home and not letting him to go learn, that's a problem. She's missing out on her olam haba. If a kid wants to go to a certain school but he's not going to be learning Torah, and she helps push him to learn, or she gets him out of bed, go to yeshiva, go to learn, that's her schar. That's where schar comes from. So limud Torah is very important for males, and for women to assist in the mitzvah is just as important. That's where their main schar comes from. Okay, so he brings here a story, I guess I'll say it, from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Shebacha. So I think it was Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, before he died, he was crying. And he said to his students, like this was on his deathbed. He was crying, and he says, I have two paths before me, one of Gehenna and one to Gan Eden. And I shouldn't cry? So they couldn't imagine, why is he crying before, like, he's such a big tzaddik. Tzaddik kimo, so in a tzaddik like him, he was crying for sure us, if he's not sure where he's going. But this that he said, that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, when he learned Torah, he was 40 years old. That's when he started learning. So he was worried all the time that he missed out, all the 40 years before that he missed out. He was afraid maybe he didn't learn enough, that he didn't get enough food for his soul and mitzvahs. And on this, that's why he was crying. And he continues, he concludes, that it's impossible. In Olam Haba, it's impossible to get the free food. Here we get handouts. We go to a soup kitchen, food stamps, all that stuff. WIC. But Olam Haba, nothing. There's no WIC there, there's no food stamps, there's no handouts, nothing. Whatever a person did in this world, that's it. Ki'im betor shi'asuk b'olam hazeh, betor mitzvahs, only what a person was involved in this world, in the Torah and mitzvahs in this world, and helping people learn in this world. And lasas tzedakah, mitzvah Muslim haba. That will be his food in the world to come. And okay, the final thing on this Sicha, he said, Asher mi shezoch lechel kama prakim mishnayis. Happy is the one that's able, he says the word to eat many chapters of mishnayis, and to velishtos acher kach eze kapitel tehillim, and to drink afterwards a kapitel tehillim. Pleisabish beis mitzvahs, and to clothe themselves in certain mitzvahs. So he's using words here, but I think it's brought down other places using this language. But anyway, so happy we should think about it, that when a person is learning that this is their food, they're building up a food storage in an Olam Haba. It's like, what is it? Like squirrels preparing for winter. You know, this one winter is coming, so they store away all their acorns and everything before the winter. But the other friend, his friend's squirrel, his neighbor's squirrel, didn't prepare. So when winter comes, this one, you know, he makes it because he has acorns, but the other one freezes to death because he has nothing to eat and he's out wandering for food. So you have to be like that squirrel that prepared for the long winter. We have a long winter ahead of us. Before we know it, you know, I have my birthday coming up soon, and you know, it's scary. You know, this world is we're here for very little time, and that's it. And then we have Olam Haba, and whatever we did in this world, that's it. So number one, we have to keep in mind that we have to learn whatever we can. We have to do whatever mitzvahs that we can, and we have to be a kusher to the tzaddik, however we can. By learning his teachings, etc.